So I thought today that I would share with you the story behind my song, You're My Land. So You're My Land is probably one of the most personal songs that I have composed. It was during a time when I was torn between my dream and my career and being close to my family. And during that time, Malaysia was going through a very, very difficult, challenging time politically. There was a lot of corruption that was going on, and I was just watching my country crumbling in front of my eyes, and it was extremely devastating to watch. After several years of that and overcoming my illness, I had adrenal insufficiency for several years, so I had to stop doing my music. I promised myself that when I recovered from my illness that I will not give up on my dream and on myself. I was actually literally in tears. I was just crying at the piano, writing the song, and sharing how heartbroken and how torn I was about going for my dream to do my musical career and leaving my family and my country behind that I love so deeply, or staying and giving up my dream in my musical career. And I was also feeling so helpless, so angry, so devastated, so sad by watching these corrupted politicians just tearing our beloved country or Tanah Air apart. Tanah Air, by the way, means homeland in Malay. So I am a big advocate for unity, honesty, freedom, and the truth. And I feel that that is where my love lies. My love for humanity, my love for unity, and my love for my country. And in the chorus, it says, "Don't let these fools pretend to know you. Remember the ones who made you." And that was a way of me giving hope to myself, actually, but also telling the Malaysian people that remember that we Malaysians, we the people, are the ones who gave birth to this land, not the politicians, not the ones who do not understand or do not have their intention in the right place. So it was a way for me to let myself and the Malaysian people to tell them not to give up. When I was composing You're My Land, ironically, this song was not even considered for my album. When I went to meet Jeff Bova, my producer, I actually did not even share this song with him because it was just a short song, just me on the piano, and it did not have a bridge. And I felt that it was just so different from everything else that I had. I was kind of still trying to figure out my sound because I knew that I loved the cinematic sound. I loved fusing East and West and the sound that is hypnotic and dark and moody and all that. But when I was writing You're My Land on the piano, it was just not something that I envisioned or imagined to suit. And it was just so personal to me. Honestly, I thought that I would never be able to perform this song without crying. And you know, I compose a lot of songs for other artists too. So I always had the struggle of which is my sound, which is me, which is the embodiment of the artist. Okay, there is this one song that I really liked and it's really personal, but I don't think it fits. And Jeff said, "Come on, let's hear it." So I played the song and he was just like, this is it. This is your single. This is the direction of your album. And when I was listening to the song in the studio with him, I was able to kind of remove myself from being inside the song to being the listener of the song. And that's very challenging, you know, being the songwriter and the performer and being very hands-on in the production. And I was like, you're right. I mean, this is really me. Like, I should not fear my true self, my true sound, my true emotions. You know, this is really the kind of music and message that I feel so deeply to write and compose about. This is the sound. It might sound too sad or too cinematic for some people, but this is truly me. So I really, really appreciate Jeff being so honest and able to be so attuned to me as an artist to capture and understand that. So we worked on You're My Land. It was just I remember telling him the beginning and the intro of the song has to have this beautiful string arrangement, and I had some references that I've been keeping of other songs. One of them is this Persian song, and I can't remember the name of the artist right now, and I don't want to pronounce it wrongly, but the string arrangement of the song, I just that feeling is just, it's so beautiful and just so sad. And I was telling Jeff, like, this is how the song has to start. It has to have this foundation where it tells a story that this is a song that is extremely beautiful, but also extremely sad. And as we worked on the arrangement, I told Jeff, like, the piano part, it has to have this feeling like Rachmaninoff's bass line, Moment Musical 3. That was my reference, and I love Rachmaninoff, and I used to study classical piano, and I was just telling Jeff, like, that song, that piece, it has this devastation quality of utmost beauty and utmost devastation, you know. I do not know what Rachmaninoff was going through when he composed that song, but that is really what I feel. And we were working on the piano part with Jeff, and, you know, finally we just got the right chord arrangement, you know, with some different colorings, and, you know, putting that octave at the bottom. It was just, I had goosebumps, and I was like, this is exactly it, you know. And of course I was telling Jeff, like, we gotta get live strings. I mean, Jeff's string arrangement was just so beautiful already, just so beautiful. But, you know, having live strings just makes that difference, you know, when you can hear the violins cry, when you can hear the cello wailing, you know, that is something that you cannot replace. So the beautiful string arrangement and recording was just, it just brought the song up to just another level. Other than that, I was telling Jeff, you know, as you know, I'm all about East meets West, so I've got to represent the Eastern side of things. And I was experimenting with different things, but, you know, at the end, Jeff and I agreed, like, this song is a song that needs to be just stripped back, because the audience and the listener needs to just really focus on the emotion, the emptiness, you know, when there's a lot of space, there's a lot of emptiness in the music, where you can actually hear the depth of the hollowness, the echo, the bass of the low notes, you know, still ringing away And that is the emotion that this song carries, you know. The vision that I had in my music, I always visualize my music like a film. I was telling Jeff, it's like after a war has occurred and, you know, you are standing on a piece of land and it's just all these broken and torn buildings and rubbles just, you know, strewn all over, and the wind is just blowing the dust off the ground, and there's just nobody around because everyone is dead, and you're just standing there alone and feeling so devastated, so alone, so I can't even find the words for it. I mean, it feels just so heavy in my heart, and that was the feeling that I wanted to have in the track. So I definitely wanted to have like gamelan. As some of you may know, I am a big gamelan lover. I love the gamelan, and I have taken a lot of pains to build my own chromatic gamelan sarong so that I could have it in my own songs. So I was in the process of building a new version, a new more modern version of the chromatic gamelan sarong with Daniel Schmidt. So it was not completed fully, but it was finished to the point that I could record, and it was actually very, very challenging to have that completed because Daniel Schmidt was actually having stage 4 cancer right in the middle of the building of this instrument. So it was quite challenging to, you know, I don't even know if I would be able to have the instrument at all or even ready for the recording. And as the tension and the intensity of the political turmoil that was going on during that time with the upcoming US election for 2020, I was telling Jeff, like, this song needs to come out. It needs to come out right now. It's such an important message. And so we were trying our very best to get the gamelan in, record the gamelan lines, and we were experimenting with timpanis, taiko drums. You know, I just love the minimalist, masculine, strong, deep drums. And that's when I thought, you know, Hands Percussion Malaysia would just be perfect. Of course, the logistics may be challenging, but not only we are a world apart, but they are also, you know, logistically big and challenging to travel and move with and get into the recording studio. But, you know, they made it work. The drums just sounded so amazing, and I'm just so glad to be able to have Malaysia, you know, represented in this track. And on top of it all, I have been such a big fan of Hands Percussion Malaysia for the longest time. For years and years and years, I would go to their performance and I would just be in awe, because it's down from the music to the choreography, the costumes, the lighting, the staging. I mean, Bernard Goh is just such a visionary, a true visionary. So when all that came together and, you know, we got it mixed, we got it mastered. I remember I was working on the mix with Jeff several times. You know, we were going back and forth. And then I think it was kind of late at night, and Jeff was telling me that he was gonna call me about the final mix. And I think I remember seeing the clock. It said 11:11. And 11:11 has been kind of just popping around in my life the past few years. And it's just funny, you know, it's just funny and strange. And I just knew when I saw that this mix was just gonna blow me away. And true enough, I heard the mix and I had no words. I just had no words to describe how beautiful and how perfect the music was. After all the different notes that I was working on with Jeff on the mixing. So the journey of You're My Land, and there you have it, the meaning behind the music and the song. And you know, when I released You're My Land, the interesting thing is that I wrote and composed this song about how I feel, about my country, about Malaysia. And then I felt that this song was just so important to be released right at that moment because of the US election. And when the song was released, I was reading people's reactions and comments, and what they were telling me about how moved they were by the music. And these were people who were feeling the same thoughts and emotions as I did for their own experience, for their own country. For some of them had to flee their country, for example, Iran or Syria, or those who have left their families behind, several generations to find a better life in a different place. And some of us feel like we don't have a specific belonging to one place or the other. I remember talking to a cab driver, an Uber driver actually, and he was saying, when I go to China, people say I'm American. When I come to America, people say I'm Chinese. Like, I don't feel Chinese, I don't feel American. And that's the thing, like, we actually build our own home, like our own belonging is in this hybrid, in this unity. It doesn't have to be A or B. We are both A and B. So I was really touched and moved to hear how people really resonated with the story of the song and the meaning of the music. So I hope you enjoyed this sharing session of mine, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you a lot more about my other songs and what I've been up to. Stay tuned and keep inspiring unity in everything that you do every day. And let's keep inspiring unity together.